Imagine a world forever transformed by a single man's vision. This is the world after Prophet Muhammad and the rise of Islam. A humble merchant from the Arabian Peninsula, Muhammad's prophetic journey would ignite a spiritual revolution that forever altered the course of human history. The emergence of Islam in the 7th century brought profound changes, not only to the Arabian Peninsula, but also to the world at large. This new faith fostered a cultural, intellectual, and spiritual awakening that would transcend borders, reaching far beyond the deserts of Arabia. The impact of Islam's rise is still felt today, echoing through the ages in our laws, our sciences, our arts, and in the hearts of nearly 2 billion believers worldwide. This video will delve into this transformative era, exploring the life of Prophet Muhammad and the profound legacy he left behind. Join us as we journey back to the 7th century to witness the birth and rise of Islam. In the bustling city of Mecca, a child named Muhammad was born into the Quraysh tribe. This was a world steeped in tribal loyalties and blood feuds, a society where might made right and the weak were left to fend for themselves. Yet amidst this tumultuous landscape, a beacon of hope and change was kindled with the birth of Muhammad in the year 570 CE. Born into a respected lineage, Muhammad was an orphan from a tender age, losing his father before birth and his mother at 6. Raised under the care of his grandfather and later his uncle, Muhammad's early life was marked by hardship, shaping his compassionate and empathetic character. This was a time when the Arabian Peninsula was a mosaic of cultures, faiths, and traditions. Polytheism was the norm, with the Kaaba in Mecca serving as a sanctuary housing numerous idols worshipped by different tribes. Amidst this religious diversity, there were also pockets of monotheistic faiths, including Christianity and Judaism. As a young man, Muhammad earned a reputation for his integrity and honesty, earning him the nickname Al-Amin, meaning the trustworthy. He worked as a merchant, navigating the complex trade networks that crisscrossed the Arabian Peninsula. His dealings brought him into contact with diverse cultures and faiths, broadening his perspective and understanding of the world. At the age of 25, Muhammad married Khadija, a wealthy merchant widow. Their marriage was a partnership of mutual respect and love. Khadija's support played a significant role in the years to come, as Muhammad embarked on a spiritual journey that would transform not only his life, but the course of history. In this complex socio-political and religious context, the stage was set for a seismic shift. The young man, known for his honesty and integrity, was about to challenge the established norms and introduce a new faith that would reshape the Arabian Peninsula and beyond. Little did anyone know, this orphan child would soon change the course of history. In the next scene, we delve into the transformative event that marked the beginning of Muhammad's prophethood, the first revelation. A profound event in 610 Common Era marked the turning point in Muhammad's life and the birth of Islam. In the heart of the Arabian Peninsula, nestled among the rugged hills of Mecca, lies the Cave of Hira. It was here that Muhammad, a 40-year-old man known for his integrity and wisdom, often sought solitude for contemplation. One fateful night, during the holy month of Ramadan, Muhammad's life was forever changed. An extraordinary visitation occurred. Angel Gabriel, a messenger from the divine, appeared before him with a revelation. This wasn't a casual encounter, but a momentous event that would shape history. The angel commanded Muhammad in a voice resonating with divine authority, "Read." Confounded, Muhammad responded that he was unable to read. The angel repeated the command, pressing Muhammad until he understood. The words weren't meant for him to read from a book, but to recite from the divine source. It was a revelation, the first verses of the Quran, which would become the holy book of Islam. The message was profound and transformative. It introduced the concept of monotheism, the belief in a single all-powerful God, Allah, who was the creator and sustainer of the universe. This was a radical departure from the polytheistic beliefs prevalent in pre-Islamic Arabian society, a society steeped in the worship of numerous deities and idols. The revelation also emphasized the importance of knowledge, wisdom, and the pursuit of truth. This was not just a spiritual awakening for Muhammad, but a call to societal reform. The experience left Muhammad deeply moved and somewhat bewildered, but his wife Khadija and her cousin, Waraka bin Nawfal, a learned Christian, reassured him. They believed he was chosen as a prophet, a messenger of God. This divine encounter marked the inception of Muhammad's prophethood and the beginning of his mission. With the revelations that followed, he started preaching the message of Islam, submission to the one true God, Allah, and leading a life of righteousness and moral integrity. With this divine message, Muhammad embarked on his mission as the Prophet of Islam. Muhammad's message of monotheism did not go unchallenged in Mecca. Indeed, his proclamation of one God, Allah, in a society deeply rooted in polytheism, stirred a tempest of opposition. The elite of Mecca saw this new faith as a threat to their established order and economic interests, as the city's prosperity was largely tied to the annual pilgrimage of polytheistic tribes. The early Muslims therefore faced a barrage of persecution and hardship. They were ostracized, ridiculed, and even physically assaulted for their beliefs. The most vulnerable among them, such as slaves and those without tribal protection, bore the brunt of this oppression. Yet, it was not only the marginalized who suffered. Even Muhammad himself was not spared. He was publicly mocked, his message disparaged, and his character maligned. But adversity often forges resilience. Muhammad's determination remained unshaken, his faith in his divine mission unwavering. He continued to preach, to advocate for monotheism, for social justice, and for a spiritual awakening. His conviction inspired others, drew them to his cause, and kindled a flame of faith that could not be extinguished by persecution. Among those drawn to him were individuals who would become his staunchest allies and most devoted followers. They found in his message a beacon of hope, a call for equality, and a vision for a just society. These early companions, such as Abu Bakr, Ali, and Khadijah, offered their unwavering support to Muhammad. They stood by him, shared in his trials, and played pivotal roles in the nascent Muslim community. Their faith, like Muhammad's, remained steadfast in the face of hardship. Their resolve fueled by the transformative power of the message they had embraced. The early years in Mecca were undoubtedly a period of intense struggle, a test of faith and endurance for Muhammad and his followers. Yet each challenge they faced, each persecution they endured, served only to strengthen their resolve and deepen their commitment to their faith. Despite the adversities, the seeds of Islam were being sown. The year 622 CE marked a pivotal moment in Islamic history. This was the year of the Hijra, the migration of Prophet Muhammad and his followers from Mecca to Medina. The Hijra didn't just symbolize a physical journey, but it was also a profound spiritual transition. This event carries such significance that it marks the beginning of the Islamic lunar calendar. Before the Hijra, the Muslims in Mecca faced severe persecution and hardship. Their monotheistic beliefs were met with resistance by the polytheistic Quraysh tribe, the ruling power in Mecca. The situation became so dire that they had to seek a safe haven, and that refuge was found in the city of Yathrib, later renamed Medina, meaning the city. The people of Medina, known as the Ansar or the Helpers, opened their homes and hearts to the Muhajirun, or the emigrants from Mecca. This act of brotherhood and solidarity was a critical step towards establishing a unified Muslim community, or Ummah. Prophet Muhammad's arrival in Medina was not just the start of a new life for the Muslim community, but it also brought forth a transformation in the city itself. The Prophet didn't just settle in, he became an active participant in Medina's social, political, and spiritual life. He worked towards creating a harmonious society, integrating different tribes and religions, and establishing peace agreements. Facing the challenges in Medina, Prophet Muhammad and his companions demonstrated immense resilience. They built the first mosque, the Quba Mosque, which served not only as a place of worship, but also a community center. The Prophet encouraged education, mutual respect, and the pursuit of knowledge. He emphasized the importance of community service and charity, shaping Medina into a thriving, united, and compassionate society. This migration to Medina was a turning point. It marked the transition from a small, persecuted group of believers to a growing, organized community. The Hijra symbolizes the resilience, determination, and unity of the early Muslims, qualities that continue to inspire millions of Muslims around the world till today. In Medina, a new chapter of Islamic history was about to unfold, and this chapter was instrumental in shaping the course of not just Islamic but world history. The Constitution of Medina served as the foundation for a new society. This pivotal document, inked in the early days of Islam, was much more than a simple agreement between tribes. It was a revolutionary charter that set forth the principles of justice, religious freedom, and mutual support, shaping the very fabric of the emerging Muslim community. The Constitution of Medina, also known as the Charter of Medina, was drafted by Prophet Muhammad soon after his migration from Mecca to Medina. This groundbreaking document was the Prophet's first major attempt at state building, and it was a remarkable one. In a time when tribal loyalties were the norm, and intertribal conflicts were rampant, the Constitution sought to bring together disparate tribes and religious groups under a unified political framework. This wasn't just about creating a peaceful coexistence, but about forging a cohesive community. The charter recognized the rights and responsibilities of all citizens, regardless of their tribe or faith. It granted religious freedom to all, asserting that Muslims, Jews, and other tribes in Medina were part of one community, the Ummah. It also set forth principles of justice and equality. It stipulated that disputes were to be resolved within the community, under the rule of law, and not through the age-old practice of tribal feuds. It declared that all members of the community were to stand together in times of conflict, supporting one another as one unit. But perhaps the most significant aspect of the Constitution of Medina was the spirit of mutual support it promoted. It emphasized the importance of helping those in need, of working together for the common good. It laid down the foundation for a society where every individual mattered, where every voice counted. In essence, the Constitution of Medina was not just a political document, but a social contract. It was a blueprint for a diverse and inclusive society, a society built on the principles of justice, equality, and mutual respect. It was a bold vision for a new kind of community, a community that would thrive on the shared values and collective efforts of its members. This constitution laid the groundwork for a thriving and inclusive Muslim community. It was a testament to the transformative vision of Prophet Muhammad, a vision that continues to inspire and guide millions around the world today. The early Muslim community faced numerous trials and tribulations. A series of major battles and turning points shaped the destiny of Islam, showcasing the resilience and determination of its followers. The Battle of Badr, fought in the second year of Hijra, was the first major clash between the Muslims and the Quraysh of Mecca. Outnumbered 3-1, the Muslims emerged victorious, a triumph seen as a divine validation of their faith. The subsequent Battle of Uhud, however, proved to be a different story. The Muslims initially had the upper hand, but a breach of tactical orders led to a turnaround in fortunes. Despite the setback, this battle served as a vital lesson in unity and discipline for the Muslim community. Then came the Battle of the Trench. The Muslims, learning from their experiences at Uhud, adopted a defensive strategy. They dug a trench around Medina, which effectively neutralized the superior numbers of the enemy coalition. This ingenuity marked a turning point, highlighting the strength of strategic planning in the face of adversity. But it wasn't just about battles and conflict. The Prophet Muhammad's ultimate goal was peace, and this was manifested in the conquest of Mecca. 8 years after their forced migration, the Muslims entered Mecca virtually unopposed. The Prophet's decision to grant amnesty to the Meccans, instead of seeking revenge, was a profound demonstration of mercy and forgiveness. These major battles and turning points weren't merely physical confrontations. They were spiritual tests that refined the character of the Muslim community, reinforcing the principles of unity, discipline, strategic planning, mercy, and forgiveness. Through these trials, Islam emerged stronger and more resilient. Each challenge became a stepping stone, propelling the faith forward. The peaceful conquest of Mecca signified the triumph of peace over violence, of forgiveness over revenge. It exemplified the essence of Islam and set the stage for its rapid expansion in the years to follow. As Muhammad's life drew to an end, he delivered a profound message to mankind. In his final years, Muhammad embarked on what is now known as the farewell pilgrimage, a journey to Mecca that marked a significant moment in Islamic history. During this pilgrimage, Muhammad delivered his final sermon, an address that encapsulated the essence of his teachings. He spoke of equality, stating that no Arab was superior to a non-Arab and vice versa, except by piety and good action. He emphasized on the importance of treating others with fairness, respect, and kindness. He underscored the sanctity of life and property, and urged his followers to uphold the pillars of faith. The sermon is revered as a comprehensive guide to ethical conduct, embodying principles that transcend time and geography. It was a clear testament to Muhammad's vision of a just society, a vision that underpinned the formation and growth of the Islamic community. Shortly after his return from the pilgrimage in June of 632, Muhammad passed away. His death marked the end of an era, but his teachings continued to resonate, shaping the course of history. His life and message became the bedrock of Islam, providing guidance to millions across the world. Muhammad's legacy is a tapestry woven with threads of faith, compassion, and perseverance. He was a man who, despite facing numerous challenges, stayed steadfast in his mission. He was a leader who fostered unity and peace, a teacher who preached love and tolerance, and a visionary who forever changed the social and moral landscape of his time. His teachings, embedded in the Quran and the Hadith, continue to guide the daily lives of Muslims. His emphasis on social justice, respect for all of humanity, and the pursuit of knowledge is reflected in the fabric of Islamic civilization. Muhammad's life serves as a testament to the transformative power of faith and conviction. His journey from being an orphan in Mecca to becoming the prophet of Islam is a story of resilience, a story that continues to inspire and motivate. Muhammad's message of peace, compassion, and tolerance continues to inspire millions. His life and teachings remain relevant, providing a beacon of light in a world often fraught with darkness. The death of Muhammad marked the end of an era, but the beginning of a new one. As the physical presence of the prophet faded, his teachings remained, guiding the followers of Islam on a path of expansion and enlightenment. The caliphates, successors to Muhammad, carried on his legacy, steering the course of Islam and its community, the Ummah. The first four caliphs, known as the rightly guided caliphs, played pivotal roles in consolidating the Muslim community and expanding its territories. Under their leadership, Islam spread rapidly across vast regions, from Spain in the west to India in the east. This period witnessed not only the expansion of an empire but also the flourishing of Islamic civilization. Islamic civilization, during the golden age of the caliphates, made significant contributions to various fields of knowledge. Scholars from diverse backgrounds flocked to centers of learning like Baghdad and Cordoba. They translated, studied, and expanded upon the works of ancient civilizations, leading to advancements in science, medicine, philosophy, and arts. Islamic architecture bloomed, with magnificent structures like the Great Mosque of Cordoba and the Dome of the Rock standing as testaments to the aesthetic sensibilities of the era. Meanwhile, Islamic calligraphy and arts infused beauty into the written word, turning manuscripts into visual masterpieces. The flame kindled by Muhammad continued to illuminate the world. The legacy of Muhammad and the early caliphs left an indelible mark on world history, ensuring that the light of Islamic civilization continues to shine brightly. The life of Prophet Muhammad and the rise of Islam is a testament to the transformative power of faith. From his humble beginnings in Mecca, through the trials and tribulations, to the establishment of a faith that would change the course of history, we've journeyed together through the life of an extraordinary man. We've witnessed the first revelation in the Cave of Hira, a moment that marked the commencement of a new era of monotheism. We've shared in the struggles and persecution endured by the Prophet and his followers, and the resilience and determination that carried them through to the migration to Medina. We've explored the Constitution of Medina, a revolutionary document that set forth principles of justice, religious freedom, and communal support. We've reflected on pivotal battles, turning points, and the peaceful conquest of Mecca. We've delved into the farewell pilgrimage and the Prophet's final sermon, a timeless message of equality, ethics, and the completion of Islam. Lastly, we've seen the rapid expansion of Islam after Muhammad's death, the rise of the caliphates, and the profound influence of Islamic civilization on the world. In reflecting on these powerful events and teachings, let's contemplate the principles of peace, compassion, and tolerance that were central to Muhammad's message. Thank you for joining us on this journey. Remember, knowledge is power. Share this video, ignite a conversation, and keep learning.